Today, we're diving deep into the digital bloodstream of our economy. But what we've found is a hidden vulnerability, a threat that has nothing to do with hackers or cyber attacks, and everything to do with something as simple as an expiration date. Let's get right into it. All right, before we kick things off, just a quick but important heads up. This is the third part of a 5-part series that's breaking down a really comprehensive research report by Virtualization Options LLC. So as you can imagine, we're just scratching the surface here. Also, please remember this isn't legal advice and comes with absolutely no warranty. So let's really set the stage. When we think about money, we probably picture dollar bills, right? But the reality is, our entire financial world is now a massive, incredibly complex system built almost entirely on code. And the sheer scale of it is just mind-boggling. We're talking about a digital giant that processes trillions of dollars. Not a year, not a month, every single day. Every time you tap your card for coffee, every stock that's traded, every paycheck that gets deposited, it is all just data flowing through this giant digital machine. Now, all that speed and efficiency is amazing. But it begs a really important question. What if this powerful, seemingly invincible giant has a hidden weakness, a secret Achilles heel that's hiding in plain sight? And that weak spot? Well, it lies in what the whole system depends on. Think about it for a second. The core systems at your bank, the massive networks that process your credit card payments, the platforms that trade securities on Wall Street, even the security tools that are supposed to protect everything, pretty much every single one of these critical pieces runs on subscription-based software. And that dependence creates this totally new kind of threat. Let's call it the subscription kill switch. It's a danger that's so easy to overlook because, well, it doesn't look like a normal attack at all. This is what's so fascinating. On one hand, you have the classic cyber attack, right? It's malicious, it comes from the outside, and it's all about breaking in. But a subscription lapse is the complete opposite. It's usually just an internal administrative mistake. And here's the kicker. It's not a bug or a hack. It's a built-in feature. The software is literally designed to shut down. So let's be super clear on the definition here. A subscription lapse happens when a piece of critical software just stops working. Not because it was hacked, but because a license expired, a payment failed, or maybe there was a dispute with the vendor. And the result is an immediate and totally legitimate shutdown of services that we all rely on every day. To really wrap your head around just how serious this is, let's walk through the anatomy of a hypothetical meltdown. So, picture this. A major payment processor just forgets to renew one of its key software licenses. An honest mistake. The dominoes fall, and they fall terrifyingly fast. At hour zero, it starts small. A few online purchases get rejected. No big deal, right? But just 12 hours later, you can't get cash from an ATM. By the 24-hour mark, the massive system that settles payments between banks grinds to a halt. Money stops moving. Then, in the next couple of days, the crisis just explodes. Paychecks don't show up. Businesses can't pay each other. And before you know it, what started as a simple clerical error has become a full-blown crisis as public confidence completely evaporates. So what are the lessons here? Well, they're pretty chilling. First, the speed of this failure is measured in hours, not days. Second, because all these systems are so interconnected, one failure creates a massive domino effect. Third, recovery isn't as simple as just buying a new license. You have to rebuild complex systems, and even harder, you have to rebuild trust. And finally, the impact quickly snowballs from a simple inconvenience into a legitimate national security threat. So let's zoom out again. How does a simple software glitch, an administrative error, actually transform into a national crisis with real security implications? This chart here really lays out the chain reaction. It all starts as a high-level operational impact. Things just stop working. That very quickly turns into a high-level systemic financial risk for the entire economy. But the final stage, the most dangerous one, is the collapse of public trust. When people lose faith in the system itself, that's when things get critical. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The report this is all based on puts it in no uncertain terms. It says widespread service disruptions can trigger bank runs, market panic, and loss of confidence in the financial system. That right there is the absolute worst-case scenario from a simple subscription lapse. Which really leaves us with one final unsettling question. We've built our entire modern financial world on a foundation of software subscriptions. The question is, Is anyone actually watching the expiration dates?